Broadcasting live from sunny South Florida, this is KMA Talk Radio. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of fine cigars. Your KMA crew, the Italian Scallion, Paul DeGracco, Alex Tavella, a.k.a. The Goat, and always telling it like it is, Honest Abe.
I like to smoke them like the Winston Churchill, like John Kennedy, yeah. Remember Coach Red Auerbach, smoked up for victory, yeah. Well, you can take my wife, you can take my car, but you can't take my big cigar. My cigar.
Good morning to all our loyal listeners, libertarians, and lovers of the leaf. I'm your host, Honest Abe, and we are broadcasting show number 483 of KMA Talk Radio from sunny South Florida. And as always, I'm going to adjust this cam here a little bit. There we go. And as always, I am joined with my trusty crew, the man they call the GOAT, Alex Tavella, the man who's always teaser and rumor free and always has the scoop, William Cooper, and the man who seemed to have shunned off all weddings, baby showers, brisk baptisms, Disneyland, who was going to be a guest host tonight this week, Paul the Italian Scallion DeGracco. Welcome back to KMA Talk Radio.
That was the greatest intro ever.
It really was, actually. And I could tell he was a little nervous that his mic was still screwed up, but he kept going like a professional. But it sounds great.
Keep going, bro. Keep going.
Push
No
it.
wedding,
man.
no weddings, no brisks, no baby showers, nothing this Saturday. Amazing.
First of all, I think it's a brisk, not a brisk.
Yeah,
Brisk is like when you take a
brisk,
quick shower.
brisket,
Listen, I was traveling for work, and we have basketball games on Saturday, and it's been very difficult, and I've been trying to make it work. It'll only be for a couple of weeks, but listen, I'm happy to be back. My kids both have the flu, so we're not doing basketball today. So I was like, all right, I'm going to do the show. Bye. So you give your kids flu shots, Abe?
I don't know. My wife had takes them to the doc. I don't even know who their primary care physician is. I don't know where they are. God forbid I ever got to take them to the doctor.
I at least know ours, but
No.
we just like I don't know. We feel like the flu shots for people that are like compromised or ill or older, right? You don't give your kids a flu shot, right, Alex?
No, I don't. I do not.
I mean, but it's been 4 days of hell. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't. I've never taken a flu shot.
Oh, ever?
No.
I have twice, and one time I got deathly ill from it for 2
Oh,
days.
there
I
you go.
did this year. I did this year.
Did you get sick from it, Coop?
Yep. Well, I got the flu and the COVID at the same time, so it got me sick. Yeah.
Oh Jesus!
Double bubble.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Paul, you're
Yeah.
very green.
I have a-
You need to work. You need to hit that fade a little bit.
Yeah, green, and
I'm
you look like you got a bloody nose, like Stephanie whacked you this morning.
Yeah, and you're very green. You almost look like you have jaundice.
Well, you know what?
You're like
light
greenish
here is one of those
yellowish.
old school.
You
my
got to
light
hit
here
the
is one of those
fade, and
old
your
school-
settings. You got to hit the fade. You got to work on that fade.
I don't even know what that means. On my hand, so I have one of those old school lamps that has like the green
Settings.
glass on
The
it. I wonder if
settings.
it's that.
Your
I'm in
virtual
settings.
background.
settings.
Your virtual background has a fade button.
All right. I'll
Fade.
get on it.
Has a
I'll
fade.
get on
Has a
it.
fade button.
Well, speaking of traveling and trips, William, you went to the Nicaragua Cigar Festival.
Yes.
First time?
First time in the festival. Not my first in Nicaragua.
Duh.
So yeah, but well, I mean, a lot of people they say first time to me,
Better.
and they said, I said yeah, and they think it's my first time in Nicaragua. So I was asked it so many times, it was kind of funny. But I know for you guys, obviously, it's not.
How was the festival?
I really enjoyed it. And, it was going back to Nicaragua this year was a lot like going back to PCA last year. It had this family reunion vibe to it, because this was the first time a lot of people went back to Nicaragua since COVID broke out. And, so I think the country was very hospitable. We're very happy to see the tourists back in there. The cigar people were extremely happy to have everyone back. And for folks who don't know, the festival it has a different vibe than maybe events in the U.S. in that you get to see a lot of people on the production side and the agricultural side who maybe don't travel stateside as many times. And, so it's a great opportunity to kind of obviously see the facilities, but also interact and mingle with the people there as well. So very well. I think it was very well run this year. And I don't have previous ones to compare it to, but I've talked to enough people who've been to multiples where they felt that they came back pretty strong this year at the festival.
Were there any consumers there? Or is this really mostly an industry event?
This is an event that is geared to consumers, and I met plenty of consumers. But it's kind of funny because when the evening galas come out, it's probably more industry people than consumers. I would say this is not as big as Pro Cigar. There was probably about 100 to 150 people registered for this thing. But when you get to the galas, you see 300 or 400 people, and that's because all the companies come out that night. So it definitely there's a lot of industry people that come to this as well.
Interesting. And it was what, 4 days?
5 days, 4 nights. So
That's,
they do, yeah,
that's a long festival.
Yeah, they do 2 days in Granada, which is like a colonial city outside of Managua, and then the last 3 days they go up to Esteli. And the Granada piece is mostly more cultural, and so you get a little bit because they are trying to promote Nicaraguan culture and tourism. So that piece is more cultural, but then as you go up into Esteli, that's where it turns more into the cigar angle of things. And, you pick various factories and farms you're going to go visit. I got to see Padron this year. I had never been to Padron's factory.
Really?
Farm. Yeah.
Was that by invite, or is it just like open for anybody in town?
It was open, and Abe, I'm going to say this, George was like, he did the tour personally, which that isn't always the case where you see an owner do it personally. And I saw like a very different side of George, because every time I see George in the States, he's wearing the suits, the nice shoes. Here he's wearing the jeans, the polo shirts and boots, and he's kind of getting down into the mud in the farm. It was a very interesting thing to see that, and he just really seemed to be into it this year. There were a couple of points he did ask us to put the cameras away, but for the most part, he let us keep the cameras out and show a lot of stuff. There's stuff on Coop about it.
He asked you to put the cameras away because he was worried about some proprietary stuff being put out there.
Yeah, and that is not unusual. I've been asked in other factories sometimes to put stuff away as well. So it's not a very unique thing to him. But the Padrones have a little more of a reputation for being a little more closed off compared to other companies. They don't interact as much. So it was mostly pretty much an open book as far as that went. It's not a big factory either. That's the one thing I'll tell you. I categorize it as a medium-sized factory, about 90 pairs, which are the bunches and the rollers. So not a huge factory, and it's by any means.
Well, I mean, that's something a lot of people don't realize to begin with. Like the amount of cigars Padron makes a year compared to other big name companies that you would put Padron in with is minuscule.
Extremely relatively small.
Yeah, it is. I mean, if you go to Hoya de Nicaragua, which I also went, that's a bigger factory. And then you go into factories like Plasencia, Perdomo. These are enormous factories. So Drew Estate, those are enormous factories. And Padron is much smaller. I mean, for what they get out of it, and they use every bit of space in that factory, I can tell you that right now. So they're very efficient to how they work there.
It's not like El Titan de Bronze, but it's small for a
Yeah, El Titan de Bronze is the definition of boutique. I mean, they have a couple. That's no. This is, like I said, it's about 9. But for a company like Padron's size, you would think they'd have a bigger factory.
Right.
I'm shocked we made it this long into the conversation and haven't had to hear about the Phillies.
The Eagles.
Well, the Eagles. I mean, look, I got to say this first, Alex.
I assume he means the Eagles. Yeah.
I'm a Giants fan, but I've kind of gone on because I've lived in Philadelphia for a while.
Oh, I said Phillies baseball team. Is that what I did?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's all right. They had a great run too.
By the way, two champions. Yeah, you're not complaining.
So, Coop, I have a question for you though. Now, obviously, look, Eagles are headed to the Super Bowl. We have really good chances of winning, and all us Eagles fans are pumped up for it. But I have a question for you. As a Giants fan, I don't know if you saw. I'm sure you saw. The Empire State Building lit up in green and white for the Eagles.
Disgusting.
I mean, did you see that, Coop?
Yes, I did.
I mean, I don't think that's something that would ever happen in Philadelphia, where they would light up the building blue for the Giants.
I was even shocked that they did it too. But I'll say this, Alex, when the Eagles beat the Giants this year, everyone can say all they want about the Eagles fans. So many of the Eagle fans congratulated me on a great season. It was war. It was war during that game, but after the war was over, it was like, congratulations. You guys had a great year. Good luck next year. So it's
easy to do that when you win.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
I was
it's
gonna
war.
say, yeah,
It's war during the leading up to
Yeah.
the game, but when the war's over,
If they had lost, they'd be pissing on you in the streets and kicking you while you're down. Are you kidding me?
yeah. But I think the Empire State Building. I think they kind of look at themselves not as New York's building, but it's kind of like it's an icon of the U.S. And I think that's why they ended up putting the green on there.
Quentin,
That's
rule
a
number one
PR
is you
spin
do
on it.
not mess with the Rocky statue. It has been a curse for every team's fans that have put their
You don't do it. You don't do it.
jersey or team
Did
apparel.
they put a jersey on there?
So Quentin says they put a Chiefs jersey on the Rocky. I didn't see that yet. Could be some
Is he
Eagles
asking
fans
or
I missed.
telling us? He's got an exclamation mark.
But
He's-
every team, I mean, and this is like years going back to Brady. I mean, when you mess with the Rocky statue, your team winds up going down hard.
Yeah. And then you don't mess with the William Penn statue either. That's had that bad luck on us when we put jerseys on William Penn.
Put jerseys on William, right?
Don't
right.
do
Leave
it.
William
Don't
Penn
do it.
alone.
Leave William Penn alone. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
That's a good point.
Good comment, Ben. They
They
get
are.
tired of waiting to use the green and white lights.
They might as well, right?
All right, use it for something.
That's
They'll never
funny.
They had it all preset for something, and they never used it.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, so you guys are excited?
Yeah.
Abe. I mean, do you even watch the game, Abe?
The Super Bowl always.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, honestly, I watch it more for all the antics. I mean, especially if I got two teams I'm not emotionally attached to on any level. I watch it for all the ancillary festivities and commercials
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But
Here
you know,
too. Here
my
too.
oldest
I could
daughter,
care less.
seems to want to learn football and is kind of into football, which is really kind of it's funny because one of the things I've been like thinking about lately, because my daughter's in high school now, she's in her freshman year, is because she goes to a school of the arts, she's really deprived from like an athletic experience that high school is like it's part of.
Yeah.
Homecoming, football games, Friday night games, she's not getting that over there. So I was kind of happy that she wanted to learn a bit more about football. And one of her best friends who lives in our neighborhood around our corner, she's like our fifth child that lives with us from time to time. Leanne, I told her like her job next year is to take her to at least 3 or 4 football games at her high school,
So she wants to learn, like, she don't want to learn to play, but she wants to understand the game.
Yeah,
Right.
She's curious about the game. She likes it. She wants to understand it. I don't know. It's because now she's the boys and maybe some of the boys.
The old jocks.
That's
and
what
stuff.
That's
Yeah.
kind of what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, but but there are no jocks at her school.
Right.
Great.
Yeah, that's the one thing. Even like her current boyfriend, he's nice kid, but he's a little geeky, scrawny little kid. I mean, these are art kids, musicians and whatnot. So there's no bodybuilding, there's no gym, there's no weight room in this school where they go. So it's
That's
kind
so
of
weird for you to say her boyfriend. I cringe.
You know what, dude? I'm totally wired the way I was brought up and whatever. Like this was not going to happen.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do?
It's
You're
part
going
of
to
life.
alienate. You're going to alienate your own daughter.
You can't
And-
do that.
Out of all our kids, she really is the most astute and mature. I could talk to Petra.
She's an old soul.
I could talk to Petra like an adult. She has a lot of me in her. In fact, when we were on the cruise and we were with Doc Lee, I guess they ran into each other in Starbucks waiting in line one morning, and she was talking with the doc for like 20, 25 minutes. And he saw me later that evening. He goes, dude, how old is your daughter? Like I felt like I was talking to an adult. So, and we know this boy. They were, it was part of her little group of friends all through middle school.
Okay.
So he's been to my house before and whatever, and it could be worse. So
Yeah.
Hey, bro, are you smoking an evening stock?
I'm telling you, man, this is my 4th one.
I said it during the show. I was not exaggerating, man. And that's heavy duty for 10 a.m. But I mean, it is that good. I said it during the show, man. I
This
said it was in the ranks.
is
with
my
the top.
4th one. If you are a TGS ticket holder and you haven't gotten in on this cigar yet, because this was one of our exclusive Great Smoke releases, That was, what was it, dropped this week, Wednesday?
Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah, so we still have some left, but only 300 bundles of these were made.
Yes, it's a
And
Southern Draw, Greg.
yeah, and this is my fourth one. This is Wednesday, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it. Look at the burn.
I like the band. The band is cool. You know,
The whole packaging is.
Listen, man, I said it during the broadcast, and even Abe was like, "Wow!" I mean, to me, that is up there with the best of the TGS releases we've had throughout the year.
Yeah,
You know?
which is a heavy statement. It really is. But
Yeah,
right,
it is.
but I've been smoking them, man. I'm enjoying this cigar. Speaking of which, what are you smoking, Coop?
I'm smoking one of the Amazon Basin cigars.
How is that, Coop? Are you enjoying it?
This is an older one. Is
that the Orlana?
This is the Orlana, yeah.
I can see the bands.
Oh,
yeah.
so that's the original one?
No, this was
second.
like the fourth one released. So, but this has got some age on it. It's got a couple years age on it, so it's very
That's
good.
the one that's got the stem all the way through, right?
Yeah, kind of. It's
around.
hard to see it, but yeah.
Greg, I know you're asking me. This cigar here was made for the people who are participating in the Great Smoke this year. So if you do have a ticket, just go to the TGS store. They're still in there. If you guys are out there listening and you're thinking about getting a ticket or you're waiting, don't wait too long, because one of them is sold out already. Dunbarton. There's a little bit of, I think, crew left from Alec Bradley, and this one just went on sale Wednesday. But if you guys get your ticket, you'll have access right to the store where you could buy our TGS releases. But this one is, I'm enjoying the hell out of it. Look at that.
Nice burn. Yeah, really.
Oh yeah. Oh, what else we got? So I have to share this because I find it funny. So we make a little outline that we try to follow. So in our opening banter, what does that last segment say?
I saw it. Why is Paul here?
We don't know anymore.
He's guest hosting.
He's guest host, just dropping in today.
I'm like John Carney on Smoking Tobacco. I just pop in once in a while.
Yeah, occasionally you just hear him around.
So we have a special guest, an old dear friend, a guy who's, in his own rights, a legend in the cigar industry. Helped found and build one of the biggest companies that exists today, and went in a completely different field and has been making movies and has a movie he had worked on for years, and it's getting ready to break in theaters. Finally, I've been hearing about this for now, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, getting ready to break nationwide. Let's run the Meet Your Maker segment intro anyway, but we're going to bring on our dear friend Marvin Samel.
I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell.
It's time to meet your maker.
There he is.
From the depths of Miami. Oh, no, you're not Miami. You're in Boca, yeah?
Boca.
Boca, that's right.
From the depths of Boca.
The depths of Boca. Former cigar industry manufacturer and brand owner, now newly producer and director.
And writer.
And writer. That's
And
right.
writer.
Box lifter, yes.
Marvin Samel. Welcome, Marvin Samel.
Great to be here, everyone. And, I'm proud to be on episode, 483. But before
483.
there was an episode 1, I was in Abe's house while he's pacing up and down with his arms flailing. I'm going to do a radio show. I'm going to bring the cigar makers to the people every single week. And he's like drawing it out on a piece of paper at 1 o'clock in the morning in his house back in 06, 07?
Yeah, I mean,
Give or take.
Yeah, it's somewhere around there. I mean, we were what now? Year 12?
12.
So yeah, about
maybe
2010.
Yeah. I was in your house when you were designing it. Also there with you when you were coming up with the concept for the Great Smoke. So to be here now and to watch your guys' success is a true honor.
Well, thank you, sir. And you had some phenomenal success yourself. I mean, we had you on the show. I can't remember how long ago. We kind
year?
of talked. Is it only a year? Feels like it was been longer.
It was right around when we were the opening film of the Miami Jewish Film Festival, my film iMordecai. And I came on for like a couple of minutes just to say hi and to also let the world know that our dear friend Abe DeBabna, Honest Abe, is actually in my film. He actually portrays himself along with other cigar legends such as Christian Aroa, CLE Cigars, Eric Espinosa, Espinosa Cigars, Jeff Borshowitz, Corona Cigars, and Ryan Leeds of Empire Social, who all portray themselves in a pivotal scene in which Sean Astin, who plays Marvin, has a big decision to make about his future. So yeah, we'll be talking about that.
So before we get into the movie, let's just talk about this. So, you build this wonderful and huge company, Drew Estate, you sell it. And at what point how does the thought, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of listeners out there who know a story or something happened, like, this would make a great movie or a great book or whatever. I'm one of those guys. I have a patron here who I think has one of the greatest stories ever, and I've been joking about getting a ghostwriter, writing the book myself. It's such a great story, but very, very few people go and execute that kind of a thought. How did making a movie come into your brain?
So because I'm speaking to the world of cigars right now, I can get a little deeper. And what happened was we were in the process of selling Drew Estate. This is back in late 2014. My wife, Netta, was pregnant with our twin daughters, and something was wrong with my mom. And I would say to my dad, something's going on. Like, she's getting lost at the mall. Things are not right. And he's like, what are you talking about? She's brick made from stone. And when my daughters were born, I finally pushed my dad to take my mom. The three of us went to a neurologist, and my mother was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And I realized that it didn't matter what success you have if your parents can't be there to share it with you. And I went into a deep depression. A close friend of mine in the cigar industry said, why don't you start writing down the stories that you would tell at cigar events? And I'm sure many of your listeners remember some of these crazy stories that I would tell on stage. And they were all about my dad. So, make sure this poster doesn't fall. So I started, as a coping mechanism, writing down stories that I would tell hosting cigar events at the Smoke Inn, at cigar stores around the country, around the world. After about 2 months, I took a step back, and the stories felt cinematic. But I didn't have an in. They were simply vignettes. They were unattached stories. And then one day, I come off of a plane from Nicaragua, and I call my dad. And I'm like, Dad, what? I couldn't hear anything he's saying because he's got a beat-up 20-year-old flip phone that's beat to shit, and it's got electrical tape tied together, tin foil for where the antenna should go. And I can't hear him. And I'm like, Dad, I'm coming over. We're going to the mall to get you an iPhone. You don't come. So I take him kicking and screaming into the Apple store to get an iPhone. And he looks at the phone. He goes, what is this? Where are the buttons? So I realized I'm in trouble here. So I ended up hooking him up with private lessons with the Genius Bar. And the next thing you know, Mordecai is taking 6 lessons a week. I'm like, what's going on over here? So I sneak up on him, and I see one day he's telling the stories of his life. There's no iPhone going on. There's no learning. He's literally holding court, and all these kids are listening to him being born in Poland, escaping the Nazis at the outset of World War II, being taken to Siberia, where his mom died there, father in the gulag, sent to an orphanage. Rough life. And this one girl, she was mesmerized with me. And I said, you know what? This is the story. And the story of iMordecai that stars Judd Hirsch, currently nominated for the Academy Award in The Fabelmans, Steven Spielberg's biopic. And this is iMordecai is Judd Hirsch's first starring role. It stars Carol Kane as my mother.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Great Carol Kane, who's, nominated for the Academy Award, Emmy Award winner, Tony Award winner. She plays my mother. And Sean Astin, Goonies, Rudy, Lord of the Rings, now Stranger Things, he plays me. And there's a young girl, and a Tony Award winner, Stephanie J. Block, portrays my wife, Netta, who portrays these Einsteins who teach Mordecai how to live in the modern world. So I got the story of Mordecai learning how to use the iPhone, learning how to use Beats headphones, learning how to use Siri, learning Apple Music. And what happened was, and in the movie, by hearing the music of his youth, Mordecai returns back to his true love, which is art, which is painting. And he remembers memories from his days in Poland that he forgot. Together, we all learn that you're never too old to find inspiration. And that's the film. And it's in the form of a comedy, but it's a rough comedy. It's real life. There's some hard punches there. And in the film as well, Marvin, played by Sean Astin, is selling his cigar company. And the Marvin in the movie is not the Marvin that owned Drew Estate, one of the largest cigar companies in the world, when he sold it. It's the Marvin of when the struggle was real, where you had a real chance of actually going out of business, the lights being shut off, if things didn't go your way. And Abe actually remembers these days, back in the early 2000s, where we were struggling, we were growing, but we were always on the, a lot of times teetering on the edge. And that's the Marvin in the character, Marvin's character in the film. And I ended up directing the film. I ended up producing the film. Now I'm distributing the film with help from Greenwich Entertainment, and also with help from hundreds of people who took a loving interest to this story, to this underdog story, starting with my producer, Dahlia Heyman, who read the script and jumped on board, my producer, Alan Bain, who jumped on board, and they're still on board to this day. They're the ones who convinced me to direct it. They're the ones who said, I'll be by your side the entire time. And they're still by my side to this very day on the eve of the release of our film. And the film is debuting this coming Tuesday, February 8th, at the AMC Aventura Theater. We're opening on the 10th at the Boca Shadowwood Theater. And we're going to be in, hold on, I should have the answer. We're going to be in, oh man, I got a lot of theaters here. So we're going to be in Port St. Lucie. We're going to be in Del Rey. We're going to be all over South Florida, Palm Beach Gardens. All of this information is coming to light now. Keep going to iMordecai.com or follow us on iMordecai Movie on Instagram, my Instagram, Marvin Samel. And what we're also doing is I'm taking what we did with cigars, which is take our love, take our passion to the people. And I created what's called iMordecai on Tour. And iMordecai on Tour is an unapologetic and raw look into how a cigar maker became a filmmaker. And I'm going to be at theaters with Aja Dene Hale, the young star, every single day, 4 times a day, at every single theater in South Florida beginning February 8th at the AMC Aventura. So come check our website. We're going to get the news out to you, and hopefully, Abe, maybe you could send a follow-up, because I truthfully don't have the goddamn graphic yet today because not all the theaters are booked.
Wow. Now, will it be going nationwide, or is it just going to start out in South Florida?
Well, we are guaranteed to go to New York and LA. We're debuting in New York and LA on the 24th of February.
Wow.
I don't have the theater list yet, but like I said, keep coming back. And then we are going to expand to Phoenix, Scottsdale, Atlanta, Chicago. And from there, guys, it's up to you. So, you know, one thing about this film, the film parents stories down.
Is he freezing up?
Yeah.
Are you talking about in that big mansion you can't afford good Wi-Fi? Yeah, you've been freezing up throughout.
Breaking up.
Yes.
Am I breaking
You're
up?
good now. You're good now.
Freezing up. You've been freezing up throughout the interview, bro.
I'm sorry, everyone.
You're sitting there. You look like you're you look like you're sitting in the palace of the Sultan of Brunei. Well, get some good Wi-Fi, man.
Wisher didn't pay me enough money. I got the cheap Wi-Fi, but I'm going to save up. I'll get better Wi-Fi. Shit. I'm sorry, guys. Just let me know if it blinks in and out. So, you know, I wrote these stories to cope with my mom's Alzheimer's, and really, this is my diary of what was going on as I was selling Drew Estate, as my children were born. So cigar lovers everywhere are going to see so much that they're going to recognize. And really, this film is my love letter to the cigar culture, to the cigar world. You know, in the past, if somebody's smoking a cigar on film or on air, that represented, oh, he's the tough guy, which we all know is bullshit. You know, and if there was a plot of cigars woven into a series or a film, you know, it was Kramer burning down the house because he ended up having Cubans that he smoked. Or the movie Smoke, where Harvey Keitel's trying to, you know, lift some Cubans and sell them. But this is a raw look into the mind of a cigar maker as he's in the struggle. And you'll see a lot of cigar references. I had to take some poetic license, so all you cigar geeks, I know that I'm not being literal in how cigars are cured, okay? So understand that I needed that for the script. But that really, you're going to be taken deep into the world of cigars, and you have a cameo by your only Abe DeBabna, and I can't wait to see you guys in the theaters.
Bro, are you reading off a chart to your right? You have bullet points. You keep looking to your right. Like, are you reading off a bullet? If I know Marvin, he probably prepped for this interview. I gotta make sure.
God, I'm just staring off into the netherworld.
Okay, all right.
Much love coming right now.
All right, I just saying because normally you put it behind the camera, so it always looks like you're looking in the camera.
There's 16 people there. There's 16 people there holding water, holding key cards, holding stud, a lighter.
I want to talk a little bit about the process of how, because you know, Marvin drove up here and bought me the screenplay, read it early. I've kind of been following him and the whole process, and just as a movie guy, I'm really curious as this process. But before you get into that, since we've been talking about so much, why don't we have a trailer of the movie here? So for anyone who hasn't really seen it or gotten to see it when he was on the first time, let's run the trailer and let the audience get a peek at iMordecai.
Okay.
What is that?
Looks like a big giant hole in the ground.
With my father in. Hey, need any help?
You don't know the tools. You don't know nothing.
Well, how would I? The only time you let me come on a plumbing trip with you, you fired me after 10 minutes.
Because you were incompetent.
I was 7. This is my father, Mordecai.
Mordecai.
And this is the story.
Are you having trouble hearing on that thing?
I had trouble hearing, period.
Of how one small change.
The new iPhone.
you see how people stare at that thing?
I don't understand. There's no buttons.
Opened up his world
I'll teach you.
I take lessons from iPhone.
in ways he never imagined.
It's time you lived a little.
You're an 80-year-old man. Act like it.
Is this your family?
Yeah. It was 1939. It was the World War. We had to leave everything. Well, probably hard on Marvin, I know. I just wanted him to have better life than I had.
Maybe you can tap into what was missing.
I work on being a father to my son. What's with the ice cream? Makes you feel like a kid again. What? That make you feel young? Ice cream make me feel young. I'm not ready to be old man.
But you are old to me.
Hello, this is first iPhone call. It's nice to be young. It's nice to be old. Nice to have fun with no buttons. It's nice to have family.
What can I help you with?
You are Siri?
Yes, I'm Siri.
Oh, Siri, that's a nice name. I keep the secret because my wife, she get jealous.
That's a great trailer, man. I got to tell you, Marvin, I don't know if the camera can pick this up, but Carol Kane is just mind-blowing as your mom. I mean, you know, Judd Hirsch has the mannerism, but like I feel like I'm almost looking at your mom watching Carol Kane, and it's mind-blowing.
Yeah, she never got to meet my mom because you read an early draft of my script, Abe. You were one of the first people.
I have it. I have it in my drawer, by the way.
In fact, I don't even think it was called iMordecai at the time.
No, it was.
Okay. Originally, it was called another name, and we changed it to iMordecai. I got the rights from Apple. But as this dream was coming to fruition in 2019, my mother was slipping. And so my script got in the hands of one of the most prolific casting directors of all time, Avi Kaufman. She's podiumed more people than anyone in history. She told she told Matt Damon, "You're going to be Jason Bourne." I mean, that's
so.
And
you got movie lingo now because now you're a Hollywood guy. Podiumed more people. I have no clue.
He casted more people in movies where they ended up winning the Academy Award than anyone.
Got it.
And she was my casting director, and we put together a list of who to portray the characters, and Judd Hirsch was my number one choice. I needed somebody with that ability to play that curmudgeon, but where you're going to root for him at the same time. And so the first time I met Judd Hirsch, the meet was set for Nick's Pizza. I believe it's on 91st and 2nd in Manhattan. And I paid the guy to give me a back room. I paid him off to just have our own room. And over the course of a pepperoni pie, a couple of bottles of wine, we discussed how I wanted to approach the film based on the script. So he finally says to me, "So, who's going to direct this thing?" "I am, Judd." "You? What have you directed?" "I've never been on a film set, Judd, but I know these characters. I'm going to work my ass off. And with your help, the entire cast and crew's help, I'm going to direct it. So what do you say?" And I put my hand out. And he's looking at me. He's looking at my hand. I'm looking at him. I'm looking at his hand. And nothing's happening. And he finally says, "Let me think about it. Judd, this is a one-time offer." And he thinks I'm out of my mind. I'm telling Judd Hirsch, this is a one-time offer. Who the hell are you? Judd, my mother is dying. And I made her a promise when I read her the script for the very first time 2 years earlier that I would make this movie while she was alive. So this is a one-time offer. I have to keep moving. I've got to make this movie while my mother is alive. And he stuck his hand out, shook my hand, sat back down and said, so who do you have to play your mother? And I said, I'm thinking Carol Kane. And he said, I love it. And I guess I was supposed to have my people call her people, which is what happened. But meanwhile, Judd's on his cell phone with Carol before he hit the front door at Nick's Pizza saying, I just agreed to play this role, and you've got to play my wife. The script's amazing. Let's do it together. And we had a movie to make. And that was in 2019. We were all set to film in November and December. And my mom passed away July 17th. So she did not get to see the making of my film. But Carol embodied my mother's spirit. For anyone who ever met my mother, she was a force in nature in a 4'11" body. And Carol really hit it, and she really captured a woman who's very strong, but at the same time, she's taking this poster down. Hold on.
Oh, I was going to say, they've seen the poster. Relax.
Yeah. So she was slipping into dementia, slipping into Alzheimer's. We talked about my mother's specific ailment. Sometimes she'd be perfectly fine. And then all of a sudden, she's yelling at somebody about something. She'd usually be yelling at someone who she always thought somebody was trying to steal her man. So she would get jealous if anybody was talking to my dad and get into fights with them towards the later years. And it's portrayed in the movie to great effect, I think.
It really is. It really, really is. Now, are there plans? Are there plans for? I mean, I don't know how this works because when we talked, you weren't sure if it was going to go to theaters, it was going to go directly to Netflix. You were learning about the distribution and how things are going to pan out. Now it's finally hitting theaters. I already see people commenting of how they could see it if it doesn't end up being in a theater near them.
Yes, so it's going to be in a theater near you, and so let me continue this history. So we filmed iMordecai November, December of 2019. My editor, Rick Grayson, the great Rick Grayson, was the finishing editor who completed editing on 2014 Academy Award-winning Best Picture film, The Birdman. He was the editor of The Road with Viggo Mortensen, Charlize Theron, Gold, Matthew McConaughey, and iMordecai. And I had just left my family for 3 months, and I said, Rick, can you please come to Boca Raton to my offices, and we'll edit there. So he did. We got one cut in, and then Rick was on the last plane home before the lockdown in March of 2020. And we were trying to edit remotely. We were failing, and there was a technology called Evercast, which is Zoom on steroids, and we were able to complete the film. But I was supposed to have flashback scenes in Jano Podlowski, Poland, my father's birth town. I mean, I'm on this. I remember being on the phone with this guy named Vladik saying, Vladik, will you take 900 for the 3 tanks? Because I was trying to portray the invasion of the Soviet Union into Poland with a budget of about 20 grand. This was not Saving Private Ryan from a war. It's not a war movie, it's a comedy, but I needed to portray the effect. And then the lockdown happened. So we actually did all the flashback scenes in high concept animation with a studio called Chaos Emporium. And we finished the film in June of 2021, completely finished. We screened it at the Bryant Park Screening Room in Manhattan for my dad, for Judd Hirsch and his wife Catherine, for an audience of 60. Judd did not know what he was going to be watching. He actually didn't agree to be on the panel on the Q&A afterwards until after watching the film. So here I am. I'm like, shit, I should have sent him a cut first, because if he doesn't like the film, he's walking out the door, and I got all my family and friends here. It would have been an embarrassing situation. But Judd watched the film, and he was taken aback, and he loved it. He could tell you himself that he loved it. He told me he loved it, and joined me for the Q&A. We then went on to enter the Miami Jewish Film Festival as the opening day film. Abe was in the audience, and I didn't know this was the first time I was showing the film to strangers. There were 700 people in the audience, and when the film ended, the applause was deeply emotional. And then when I introduced my dad, and he got a standing ovation, it was one of the most incredible experiences of my life. And I knew we had something here. So then we went out to find either distributors or streamers. And in all honesty, everyone turned us down. And I shouldn't say everyone. We received offers, but the offers did not give our little film a chance to succeed, in my opinion. So one person, his name is Ed Aarons, the owner of Greenwich Entertainment, he said, listen, instead of me buying your film, why don't you hire me? I'll be your consultant. You bring on a team and self-distribute. And that's what we're doing. We're self-distributing this film, and we are in theaters with a plan that I don't think has been done before. iMordecai on tour. I'm going to be 4 times a day in different theaters. I don't have the list yet, so keep coming back to iMordecai.com. Abe will get you guys the list of theaters if you don't mind, Abe. I'm sorry I don't have the printout now. And we're opening in 5 days. In 5 days, we open 25 theaters in South Florida. So it's going to be, if you live down here, I promise you it'll be at a theater near you. I promise you, if you want to meet me, anyone who's ever met me at a cigar event, please come down. Would love to shake your hand, give you a hug. And of Original Crumbs Bake Shop.
Yep.
Am I breaking up again?
Yep.
Yeah.
Am I breaking up again?
Yep.
You got to be kidding me. Am I breaking up again?
Yep.
Okay. What did everyone miss? I just poured my heart.
We didn't hear anything. No,
Okay.
No, don't do that. We were up to bake. Don't do that to him. We were up to the bake shop. We lost your cookies.
So everyone who shows up gets a jar of Original Crumbs Bake Shop cookies. They're worth $10 each as a gift for coming out to the movies, to meet me, to meet Aja Dene Hale. I'm going to have other cast members. I'm going to have people involved in the film to talk about their experiences. It's going to be an experience like no other. By the way, the reason Abe did that is that's you getting back at me for it. It's impossible.
I have it.
Yeah. So
have any of you guys had Original Crumbs bakery goods?
I have not.
I
They're
remember them from my Manhattan days.
Yes,
there's nothing that
I never did, Paul. Yeah.
Yeah, they're amazing cookies, and the owners watched the film, and Jason and Mia Bauer, they started the company, they're relaunching it, and they felt that the ethos of family, of inspiration, of love matches with their brand, and they're like, how can we help? So they just shipped 15,000 jars of cookies to me.
Oh my
I got
God.
the whole factory building together.
Marvin, they make a cupcake. It's a black and white cookie cupcake.
I know.
Legit, I think it may have changed my life.
I know.
All right. So listen, before we go to break in hour 2, there's 2 things I just want to touch on real quick. One, is there any plans on how, do you know yet or not, will it end up being on Netflix or somewhere streaming where if they can't make it to a theater, people can eventually watch this movie, or do we not know yet about that?
I don't want to think about that right now. Right now, I believe that we have a real shot to be one of the first films, dramatic comedies, to be a hit in the movie theaters. And just come out to the movie theaters, start following us, follow us on our website, iMordecai.com. Follow us on Instagram, iMordecai Movie, my Instagram, Marvin Samel. You're going to get the whole journey. We're going to be posting videos of the experience. And it's going to be, you're going to become ambassadors, hopefully, if you like the film, and be part of something special. And eventually it'll come somewhere. But the truth is, if we're in and out like the thousands of other films that came in and out of the theaters over the last 3 years, no one's going to know about us, Abe. Come to the theaters. Come back to the movies. I promise you it's going to be an incredible experience. This film is truly cinematic in its nature. And the great cinematographer Will Turner and I spent 8 weeks shot listing every shot. The lenses were chosen not for the TV, but for the big screen. And come to the theaters. Eventually, at some point, it'll be somewhere.
Good.
I have no fucking clue right now where it's going to be.
All right. Marvin Samel, iMordecai, movie producer, director, writer, and now film distributor. We're going to have more up with an hour 2, so don't go anywhere. We got a lot ahead for you. And hopefully during the break, Marvin can go hook in the booster to his Wi-Fi. So we'll see y'all in a little bit. Keep it lit.
I'm going to go.
Phenomenal. 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 Phenomenal.
Explore the unexplored with St. Louis Rey Carenas. Set sail to discover an extraordinary Honduran cigar deeply anchored in tradition. The St. Louis Rey Carenas features a Nicaraguan wrapper cloaked over 100% Honduran tobacco that make up the binder and filler. The St. Louis Rey Carenas, in the Toro size, received a 93 rating in Cigar Aficionado and was featured in their illustrious Top 25 Cigars of 2021 list. The St. Louis Rey Carenas is available in 4 different sizes: a Robusto, Toro, Bellicoso, and Magnum. So get ready to take a trip back in time to experience the heritage of St. Louis Rey with the St. Louis Rey Carenas.
Surgeon General warning: cigar smoking can cause cancers of the mouth and throat, even if you do not inhale.
Honest Abe here from Smoking Cigars. It is that time of year again, the Great Smoke 2023 Mardi Gras Madness. If you're wondering why everybody last year was calling it the best cigar event in the country, it was evident the day tickets went on sale. VIP tickets sold out in one day. That's right. They are all gone. Don't message us. Don't PM us. I'm sorry. There's nothing we could do. But there are still plenty of general admission tickets and virtual tickets. Once again, we'll be offering this event virtually as well as live. So for those of you who can't make it down, you'll be able to enjoy the festivities from the comfort of your own home. Michael Herklotz, Kim Keeney, and Paul DeGracco will be returning to be your co-hosts for your virtual experience. Whether you're coming down live or we're going to be enjoying the event from the comfort of your own home, your ticket price includes this epic package. It's one of our greatest Great Smoke packages in the history of this event. Over $400 worth of product and great swag for the low cost of $165. If you're coming down live, you'll get your package the day of the event. If you order your virtual ticket, they'll start shipping weeks prior to the event in early March. For those of you coming down, we have 4 full epic days of fun. We start off with Drew Estate and Jonathan Drew. Thursday night, our headquarters here in Boynton Beach. Friday night, 2 events. Steve Saka here at headquarters, and Evan Darnell once again returns to host our pre-event dinner with the Red Meat Lovers Club going off the top this year. I've seen the menu. It'll be up on the site soon. Incredible dinner. And our feature host this year, Michael Herklotz of Ferio Tego Cigars, who's made a very special cigar, especially for those attending the pre-event dinner. Saturday morning, we are starting early with the first ever tailgate party being hosted by the distinguished ruffians and Eric Espinosa. There'll be a very special cigar made exclusively for that event for the first 100 attendees who go to the tailgate party. And of course, the main event will be Saturday afternoon. And then that night, after the main event, you can head back to our headquarters here. We'll have the man himself, Boofy Matt Booth, Room 101 Cigars, capping it all off with a beautiful Sunday brunch once again before everybody goes home from what we hope will be another historically, epically fun weekend. Do not hesitate. Tickets are selling this year faster than ever. Go to www.thegreatsmoke.com and get your live general admission ticket, your virtual ticket if you're going to enjoy it from home, and tickets for either the dinner or the brunch. Epic time. We can't wait to see you all there. The Great Smoke 2023. Mardi Gras Madness. Welcome back, everyone. KMA Radio, hour number 2. We are here with the gang and our good friend. Did Marvin get off? There he is.
No, he's on.
So Marvin made a comment about Impossible, and during the break, I had to search.
We can't hear you, Marvin. We can't hear you.
You lost your mic? No, we lost your mic. Oh, he moved inside. Is that what he did?
Yeah. We'll get in touch with him. Go ahead. Keep talking, Abe.
Yeah, well, so I had to search through my stack of bills, and this is the Impossible he was talking about.
Look at Coop salivating.
Oh, I can't wait.
Coop, you doubled down, bro. You doubled down.
I would have gone higher, man. I am. Oh, this is when I win the bet, Abe. It's going to be something special. We're going to have a big show when that happens.
All right, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Now we can.
We can.
I apologize, everyone. I'm indoors now. I should be strong mic'd.
You are stellar. Coop,
So
you have
about to rub something in.
Coop, you have no idea how confident I feel about this bet.
You don't know how confident I feel about this bet. You think I would have made this bet, if I wasn't?
Because you're just
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Do either, without saying what the bet is, because I don't think
we can say what it is.
Yeah.
We said what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, we did? Okay.
They're not. No one's changing the course of action to change the outcome of our little bet.
Not
my
this
question
bet, no.
is, does either of you, because I feel like one of you said you have inside information. Does either of you have inside information?
I'm
or no?
pretty sure Willie.
I'm
pretty sure Willie Coop over there feels like he's sitting on some fucking chicken head.
There's no
knowledge
on these two dealing with Padron and Fuente.
Let me tell you something. In 30 years, literally, of being in this industry, I will tell you, neither one of these companies historically have ever followed a timeline or a plan. So I don't care if they verbally told them, hey, we got a launch party booked on this date or whatever. I've seen it, and I'm good with my bet.
Look at how confident Coop is, puffing on his cigar.
Yeah, no,
not a care in the world.
And for folks who don't know, this is the release of the Fuente Padron
So
cigar.
why don't you share with us your little tidbit of inside knowledge?
There's no inside knowledge. I'm just confident.
Okay, so you really have no one said.
You think they're gonna tell me?
Yeah,
but
yes,
I'm gonna give you.
But here's the thing: I don't even if there was inside baseball, that still doesn't mean that it happened.
I agree. I mean, listen,
I
agree. But what I'm saying is, no one's come to you and say, "Yeah, we're booking this hall. We're gonna have the release." You don't know anything like that.
No.
You're still this confident?
Yes.
You're
Because
crazy.
I'm going to give you one thing why I'm confident, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Because next year is the 60th anniversary of Padron. I believe they want to get this done before this. They don't want this interfering with next year.
Listen, bro, the 60th anniversary Padron will be like December.
Possible, but I'm going to stick with what I am on this one.
See, I kind of feel like with either one of these companies, this is such a big deal that they'll drag it out as long as they have to make it where they're confident.
It's not dragging it out. They just don't move. And listen to me, neither one of them moves quickly on their own.
They don't, and they don't.
Now you're putting two different entities together that have to figure out and navigate shit, and not happening. This is one of the
You can't put a timeline on perfection.
Oh, exactly.
I got a little over almost 11 months for it to happen.
That's fair. It's got time.
I got time.
You know,
if we're getting into October and November, then you can kind of start.
I got news for you. I got news for you. 11 months in this industry is nothing.
So this week, Abe goes, "You want to double down?" And I didn't even hesitate.
It's nothing.
I'm in.
They could get fucked on boxes for 4 months. I mean,
So listen,
it is nothing.
In honor of this, when I was in Vegas, I have a couple of clients that are really into cigars. So I met them. I asked Abe where I should go, but I met them. I smoked a Padron and a short story in my time in Vegas, thinking about this bet. I was like, all right, how would these two go together?
but this is the bet that Marvin was talking about.
Wait a minute, Alan Rubin. In this circumstance, you're 100% wrong. You're 100% wrong.
Alan Rubin's wrong.
Padron and Fuente are the two companies
that don't care about selling product
as quick as right. It's
all
going
about out the door no matter what. Yes,
matches the legacy. This is
a legacy.
Every decision those two families make, they're thinking of their great grandchildren and how this is going to affect what's going on.
Right.
Nothing is simple with them. But here we go. Abe, you were right and I was wrong. Impossible. Signed by Marvin Samel.
Yes.
One of the many that's in the stack now.
What was that bet?
What was that bet? Yeah.
Oh, Abe, you want to talk about it? Should I?
Well, I mean, do you remember it?
Oh, I remember it well. Abe and his wife Brandy were at my apartment in South Beach, and somehow we all had this like desire to have some cake.
Pie.
There was a cake shop 3 blocks away, and he's like, Marvin, it looks like it's gonna rain. I go, no, the sun's out. Now I had just moved from Manhattan to Florida. I didn't know weather patterns down here.
Okay, hold on. I need to clarify. 3 blocks or fucking 8 blocks?
I said it was 3 blocks. It was 8 blocks, and I'm in my sneakers. I was preparing for a marathon at the time. Abe is 8, and he's in his flip-flops. And we're now walking, okay?
Hold on. No, hold on. Before the bet, you probably forgot this part. You were so confident it was going to rain. I'm like, dude, it's going to rain. And you said to me, if it rains, I will carry you back.
Oh, yes.
Oh, my God.
Abe, what do you?
It's a bold statement, Marvin.
Back in 05. What do you? Abe was.
Listen, 350 plus, no matter what.
Listen, I feel like either way, you weren't making good on that bet.
No, so we get out of this cake shop and we start walking, and all of a sudden, the sky just opened up, and the look of exasperation, pure hatred in the moment, and just want to kill me from Abe to me. There was no it was just, and I'm looking at him, and the rain is just pounding off of his bald head, splattering. And he looks at me, he goes, yeah, impossible.
Impossible. Fucking possible.
That's what I wrote that day.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Looking through your bill, looking through your bills, I'm going to tell you something, Alex. I don't think you realize how many you have in here.
I have a lot.
Oh my God.
I know. I have a lot.
You may have the record.
Regardless of
more than Emily,
I am in the elite category of people who have 2 bills from you.
He does.
So
elite.
It costs me
elite.
a lot.
I think it's only 2 people.
I think it's me and Eric, right?
Yeah, that's it.
So it may have cost me a lot of bills, but I have 2.
There's at least 2 of mine in there.
I have a lot of bills.
I just learned to stop because Alex is playing the
double digits. I'm in double digits.
I got a couple from Sensei in here, and by the end of the year, I'll have one from William Cooper.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I'm going to be undefeated when it happens.
It'll be 2. This is a double down.
There's a double down. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Alex said you had to sign 2 bills. It's a
You have to
double
sign
down.
2 bills. Yeah.
Yeah. What good is a double down? A 5 to a 10. It's got to be 2 5s.
Exactly.
They're
Exactly.
actual bills.
I'm
Abe's
good
gonna
with
frame them and hang them up.
Oh,
I'm good
absolutely.
with it.
This could be something special.
All right,
Guys,
before
guys, never fight with the house. Just stop doing it. I quit 8 years ago because there are literally bills that are currently out of circulation. I think there's currency in there, like from years, decades ago. Stop. Okay.
So
Listen,
before we get a little bit back on,
it pays to play, bro. It pays to play.
it pays to pay. Before we get back on iMordecai, we have to do one of our sponsored segments, a fun segment. It's called Name That Jam, sponsored by Avo Cigars. And Marvin, all of us, Alex is the only one who really knows what's going to do. We're going to test our musical acumen and basically see if we can name this jam. Is this a true story?
See, this is how things that hold value get bastardized.
Is this a true story, Coop? Coop?
Yes.
He spent it. Well, yes. Coop did
Oh,
lose
so
the
you're
bill,
not undefeated.
and Alan spent it, which bastardizes the whole thing.
For our listeners listening on podcasts, I have Alan Rubin, the fake Alan Rubin said, I have a signed bill from Coop. Well, I had a signed bill from Coop. I spent it on a pub sub.
Alan, if you actually spent that bill, I mean, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, listen to me.
The whole thing.
I don't know if there's something more shameful than losing to Alan Rubin.
I lost.
What did you lose on?
2 years ago, it was a Phillies bet. It was a bet that Gabe Kapler would have a better record than the Phillies.
Sports bets don't count. That can go either way. That's not a. That's not.
I have one. I have one from when I was like 19 that I still have. It's in my drawer here somewhere. Like you never spend that bill.
This is Alan who would go to get a pub sub over a VNS.
Yeah.
Special.
All right, Marvin.
Go to Publix.
Marvin, are you ready? Or he looks frozen again, dude.
Uh-oh.
Okay, gotta get that guy. We're gonna start a GoFundMe for the Samel Wi-Fi's.
Well,
all right.
I mean, do you want to just play it?
I'd play it.
Let's play. We're gonna play this jam and see if we can name it.
All right, we'll see if he comes in. I'll bring him back in.
Okay, this is a good one. This is a good one because I recognize the song, but I can't fucking name it.
This is a softball.
They're all softballs for you, Coop. I'm gonna start making two. Is Marvin back?
I'm back, but I'm not able to hear the song, and I'm great at this kind of shit.
We got to get.
I'll play it again.
Why can't you hear it?
No. There's wait. I don't hear. The guest doesn't hear it on our side. I haven't heard any of the ads. I didn't hear the trailer.
Really? So Marvin, when he plays
we do this every week. Our guests can always hear it. This is something on your
when he plays it. Just get ready and see if it maybe it mutes it for you on your. Are you on an iPad?
Yeah, you maybe try to click unmute.
That's what it is.
That might be why.
Weird stuff. So get ready to unmute it when we play it.
All right, let me see.
I'll play it now. Tell me when you're ready.
Ready.
Okay. Oh God. Click. Did you get it?
Cool.
All right.
You gotta love Paul. Tell me when you're ready, and then like 5 seconds to get.
Yeah, exactly. I heard like
no. I almost clicked the reveal.
Notes, and I think it's by Rick James.
All right, give him one more time. Get ready, Marvin.
Hold
Give
on.
him one more time.
Give me a 3, 2, 1. Come on, Paul.
Paul can't give himself a 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
I remember it. Is
You know,
it
it's
Rick
funny,
James?
I don't see a lot of guesses in the chat.
It's not Rick James. There's some
this
people
is
got it.
so easy.
I don't see a lot of guesses in the chat. All right, let's.
It's
let's
actually in the clip. I mean,
let's see who it is.
You can't make it out. Go ahead.
All right, here we go.
I want to love you, pretty young thing. You need some loving, and a loving care. And
There you have it.
Now I hear it, but
Yeah.
the ooh that messed me up because
No, it was good. It was good. He did it right because I recognized it. I just couldn't pin it. So, Marvin, I'm sorry, my friend, but you were unable to name that jam. Brought to you by the fine folks over at Avo Cigars. So,
Great
there
song.
you have it.
Great song.
Coop, you had it the whole time, Coop?
Yeah,
Coop
well,
had it. I see. I heard him bubbling, and then you can see Coop going. I know what he
Well,
has.
you know, again, we had a lot of Michael Jackson music played in the house because for folks that don't know, my dad drove Michael Jackson for quite a while as a driver. So
We've talked about it on the air, yeah.
So Michael
And he
Jackson music
loved
was
it,
always
right?
in the house. Yeah.
We've talked about that.
Awesome. Yeah.
Oh, I know it's been talked about. Yeah,
When,
my
Alex,
dad-
we
when
talked
Coop's
about
father
this.
passed away.
Yeah,
when Coop's father passed away, we talked a lot about his dad's career and him driving.
How did I
famous
fucking
people
not
and-
remember that?
Yeah, it's
and Michael Jackson used to like specifically requested him when he was in the area, right?
Yeah, there's something about a driver relationship with someone has with their driver, and Michael trusted a lot with my dad. And I remember my dad was saying Michael had problems, like because he was driving him at 18 or 19, and he said this kid's got problems, and he was worried about him. Far beyond a lot of the stuff coming out. So,
wow,
yeah.
Well, great music.
Yep.
Wow, this is actually.
Yeah, little did we know
This
he
is
was
actually
talking
true
about
here.
Macaulay Culkin.
I think Alan Rubin was in the studio when that happened.
Well, I don't know if that's true.
Who else
Because
lost?
I believe Steve Saka
lost too. Yeah.
Oh, then yeah, they're one of the few that have lost.
But we set Saka up, and he grabbed me by the arm after the show, and he was like, "You little fucker." He's like, you
Hold
set
on,
me up.
we didn't set him up. We discovered that girl when she beat Marvin.
I'm going to
like,
change
they got-
routers. Bear with me. This is horrible. I apologize to everyone.
They got to
I
bring this girl
apologize.
again.
I'm
'cause
going to
this-
change routers. Let me see what I got another router.
This girl was like smart, real smart.
But we were giving him I think we were giving them like crazy difficult questions too with Saka. We purposely made it difficult for Saka and easier for her.
That's what I remember from that show.
And
How do
he
you
knew
make a question?
right
How do you
away.
make a question easier for a stripper? How do you do that?
What color means stop?
Oh yeah, and Saka, get that right. I mean that.
Oh, but
that
then
made
Saka got
absolutely-
something like
that made absolutely no
yeah,
sense.
And Steve, in Einstein's equation.
No,
yeah,
you were
what
asking
is-
Saka different questions, right?
Right.
No,
Right. That's
no, they always get asked
Yes,
the same question.
No, because if they get it right, we have a different question for the next question. So she would get hers right, and then Saka would get a more difficult question that he couldn't answer. I'm
Dude.
telling you, he lost. He
Dude,
definitely lost.
Dude, listen to me. I don't know what show you fucking were on. They both had boards, and we asked them a question at the same time, and we gave them time to write on the board. They both flipped around their answers at the same time.
You're right. But regardless,
Dude, I don't know where you are.
Regardless, he lost.
Even when you're on the
He
show,
lost.
you have no clue what's going on. Holy shit. We made 10 questions. They both got asked the exact same 10 questions. They had a little clipboard. They would write their answer. We'd say time, and they'd flip it to see who had the right answer.
I'll go back and find where he lost, though. He did lose. Saka has
He lost, but we had that.
You're right
ringer-
about this format. You're right. It's
We
been a
had
while.
that ringer stripper who was like a college graduate and like knew everything. Thank you, Alan Rubin. I feel better now.
That's the person you want on your side. I mean, I'm just.
I know. I know it's bad when Alan Rubin. Paul, this is a testament to you, the fact that Alan Rubin is, correcting you.
All right.
So while we're waiting
Marvin
to see
is back.
Oh, is he back? Are we
You guys
good?
hear me, see me? I'm literally on a hotspot to my phone right now. That's how bad it is. Are you guys able to hear and see me?
Yes.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
You're choppy, but we hear you. We hear you perfect. So while we have you on, I want to ask you, you were smoking a cigar when you're out in Lanai. What were you smoking?
So I am smoking a cigar that I am currently working on with our good friend Eric Espinosa. It's a cigar that uses a Connecticut Habano, all Nicaraguan filler and binder. I am officially retired from the cigar industry, but you know what?
Are you pulling a Tom Brady? Because during our pre-show prep, Mr. Teaser Rumor Free shared a rumor with us, and we're curious. The rumors on the street is you're getting back in the game.
Look, right now, my entire soul.
Yeah, we know. It's about the movie, but we're asking you about the cigar.
You know what? If the movie,
what's the purpose of making a cigar?
The purpose is to honor my mom and to create some sort of vehicle where the proceeds go towards an Alzheimer's foundation.
Well, that's beautiful.
I mean, I'm not. If I look at some of my friends who were in one life in the cigar industry, whether it's Steve Saka, Christian Aroa, others, Ernesto Perez Carrillo, and I see how hard they're working.
Yeah.
And it's not easy coming back into the cigar industry. And if I had to do it, I feel I could, but I've got twin 7-year-old daughters right now. And I know myself, just like I'm putting everything into my film. If I get back into the cigar industry, I'm going to put everything back into it, and I'm going to miss so much of my daughters growing up. So I have to figure out how to balance family with passion and love and interests outside of my family. So that's where I'm trying to figure out the right path forward. And once the film is out, once we've wrapped everything up, then I'm going to sit down and figure out how I can share my love of cigars with all of you, with my number one commitment, which is to help my wife raise 2 beautiful daughters.
Well, enjoy the next 5 years, because that's about how long that lasts. Because when they start hitting 12 and 13, they start developing lives of their own, and
they're already
plans of their own, and hanging out with friends of their own, and they start to go.
Yeah. Look, I was, listening to Abe talk about Petra and her new boyfriend, and first of all, I feel so bad for this kid because Abe. Abe's a lovable guy, but could you imagine coming home and that's your girlfriend?
He had the pleasure of knowing me as a friend and being over our house before this happened.
It's actually a necessity, because if I met you for the first time at 14, 15 years old, I would crap my pants in a heartbeat.
Can you imagine walking into that house and he's sitting in a chair, the way he sits in a chair, just consuming the room and staring you down and
hey, some little kid so what are your intentions with
it's easy. It would have been easier for me to do that. It would have been easier for me to do that to a first-time guy I met, but I already knew this kid and I already seen this kid. So what am I going to do? Flip a switch all of a sudden out of the blue?
That's the thing.
I could see you doing that. Now it's different.
But I told my wife literally last night, I said, look, he's a good kid. He seems to appreciate her. He treats her nice. He's respectful. As long as he doesn't knock her up, I won't have to kill him. That's pretty much it.
Marvin,
I literally told my wife, I hope my daughter realizes in the back of her head, God forbid to have it, somebody's going to jail. I mean, it's just.
Marvin, you've known Abe for longer than I think any of us. I think you're a godfather to one of his kids. Let me ask you, do you think Abe's gotten soft as he's gotten older?
Oh, he's definitely gotten soft as he's gotten older. Let me tell you something. The first time I met Abe, we met a few times, but the first time I actually was aware of Abe was at the 2002, what was then called the RTDA show in Vegas. And a couple of my guys in my crew were getting into a fight with a couple of other guys over something. I have no idea. And I'm just walking past and I see Abe just go right into the center of things, put his body in between everybody, and end it right there. Do you remember that, Abe?
Yeah, it was
And I
club.
said that
It was one of your parties. It was
it was
huge.
our
I
party.
literally pulled up in a cab, me and Brandy. We were showing up late, and they were outside, and there was a big tuffle going on. I didn't know what the fuck it was.
He just walked right into the middle, started literally just grabbing bodies by their shoulders and tossing them, and said, "Enough of this. It's a party." That was it. Over. That was the first time I became aware of Abe in my universe, and we've been friends, brothers ever since.
Yeah, fucking lifetime ago.
Lifetime, 21 years ago. Okay.
Wow.
And that,
So is this a project that Eric will distribute to retailers?
No,
or you guys haven't figured it all out yet?
we haven't figured it out. Right now, we're just having fun. We're just having fun blending. I mean, truthfully, we've been blending for almost 2 years. He developed, so the cigars that Marvin in the movie smokes are Eric's cigars. And I said, Eric, I want to create a new blend that you create for Sean Astin, who is an occasional cigar smoker. And I want it to be real, where when he's smoking this blend, it's a real test blend. And that's what he was smoking in the cigar. You actually see a cigar maker being handed cigars on multiple occasions that are test blends to see if that blend is right. And
that's cool.
That's how it started. I said, Eric, make up a few blends, make sure they don't suck, but they don't have to be perfect. Because when you're blending, a lot of stuff doesn't work. That's the joy and the beauty of finding that, that pearl. Finding that pearl through all the muck, through all the ideas you have, and saying, you know what? There's something here in this blend. And, it's kind of like when I was writing my stories. I felt there was something here in those stories. And right now, Eric and I are just having a lot of fun together, just exploring different ideas of what blend. And listen, we might get into a couple of arguments in here and there. Eric's a rough kind of guy when it comes to his, and I mean that with love. Like his cigars are really powerful generally. He likes, Cuban coffee. He likes strong, things that have strength and body to them. I'm a little more refined, believe it or not. So we're having some beautiful battles. We're going through a discovery process. Who knows what comes of it?
That's the most open-ended answer.
He's become a Hollywood guy. He's learned.
No, I'm just telling you the truth. I don't have an answer. It's not like I have this big reveal. I truly, as God is my witness, I don't have any idea where this is going, other than for the first time in over 8 years, I'm enjoying this process of saying, you know what? Let's develop a cigar. And it's fun. And I do it on occasion with Eric. Every few months, we try some different cigars. We talk about it. I have a new batch of test samples that are coming out in the next couple of months for us to smoke, just us. And you know what? I'll send you guys a bundle of my cigars right now. You guys will have it to try. I'll get it to you guys. And you guys let me know what you think.
So I know your focus is iMordecai. I get all that and whatnot, but is there an inkling? Do you foresee yourself trying and doing it again, making another movie?
And it's interesting because actually that's where I feel is the reason I've been put on this earth. I told this story and I had no idea that I just wanted to tell this one story and I'm out one time, kind of like what Howard Stern did with Private Parts. He made one movie about his life and he's done. The truth is a lot of it's going to be out of my hands because I had some help with some investors who helped me out, but the vast bulk of this is self-financed. And my life right now, what started as a little budget film, has grown after Judd and Carol and Sean and Stephanie joined and my team joined. And, Matt Kaczynski, who had 7 of John Williams's musicians in my score. Okay. I mean, this grew into something that became greater than what I thought it was going to be. If the film is successful, I already have a script that I'm writing right now with my producer, Dahlia Heyman. I have treatments for about 10 different scripts.
Oh, geez.
Oh, yeah. I write down, you know what? For years, I didn't write my stories down when they happened. And over the last like 6-7 years, if there's an idea, I just write it down. And guys, I'm no different than any of you. If you have an idea for something, write it down. Who knows? 5 years later, some idea might connect with another idea, and boom, maybe you have a story to tell. If I can do it, you can do it. And I believe that I'm going to make another film, but right now I can only focus on getting iMordecai out to the world. I can't wait to share it with all you guys. And I hope to see you in the movie theater. Go to iMordecai.com. Go to iMordecai Movie on Insta. Go to my Instagram, Marvin Samel. All of our tour dates, iMordecai on tour, will be there for you. You're going to get a jar of Crumbs cookies when you're there. You're going to meet my cast members with me. And we're going to tell you an unapologetic and raw look into how a cigar maker became a filmmaker. And you'll get to ask questions of me and my cast. It's going to be an incredible experience. It's going to be just like a cigar event, but at the movies.
And there you have it from the man himself, Marvin Samel, iMordecai. That was a lot longer than 97 seconds.
Love you guys. Thank you.
You can stick around if you want. We're just going to go over some. Yeah, you can stick around. We're just going to go through some stuff for the end of the show and have some fun if you got nowhere to go. But thank you for coming on, telling us your story again. And a lot of people I see in the chat are looking forward to their opportunity to watch this movie. So
I can't wait. This sounds great.
Good stuff. It's that time, man. You know, been a week. Let's see what's been going on in the cigar industry from the man himself. It's time to see what is the scoop with Coop.
Hey, yo, what's my theme music?
The Scoop with Coop. Breaking industry news. Hear it first on KMA Talk Radio and cigar-coop.com.
Koopa.
All right. No, great to do some news again this week. So let's start off. There's a couple of releases from Scandinavian Tobacco Company that I think of interest. The first one is they have announced that next month, the 2022 edition of the Cohiba Spectre, coming out a little late, it's coming out in 2023, is scheduled to hit the stores. Now, Spectre, folks aren't familiar, it is the most premium Cohiba made by the non-Cuban version of it, owned by Scandinavian Tobacco Company.
Great picture, Paul.
Yep. I sent the picture.
I
so
did
blame
not
me.
provide the picture.
Blame me. I don't know why it came out like that. I don't know why it came out like that either, because it's not like that on mine. But
internet.
Yeah, good as the internet there. So this is gonna have a premium price point. It's a box of 10 of these is gonna go for about $1,300. So the cigars are gonna go for about $129 a piece.
Woof.
And if you look at the picture, what's kind of unique about the packaging is it has this it opens up and there's kind of this hydraulic system that elevates the cigars up. So they're definitely going all out with the packaging on there as well. The other thing that's kind of interesting about the blend is they created a proprietary hybrid binder of Pelo de Oro and Connecticut that they're growing in the Dominican Republic. So they're using kind of some of their proprietary tobaccos there.
Let me ask you this. I love when they say proprietary. Like, there's no trademarking of something you grow.
No, but they're not selling it probably to other people.
Right.
You know? So they're just keeping it for themselves is really what they're doing here.
Got it.
Yeah, and then we see a lot of farms and factories do that. So, yeah, I mean, this is a very premium release here, and I guess it's hitting the stores next month as far as that goes. So, I have smoked previous editions of the Spectre. The 2019 was really good. That was one that I liked a lot. We were talking a little yesterday about this, and I think some of those other packaging options were like really wide and stuff. They weren't really shelf friendly, but this is something that would go great, like on something like a vintage room. So definitely something to if you're and look, these are cigars for a certain clientele. They're not for everyday smokers. But there is an audience for these types of cigars. So and they have sold these. They have sold these out in the past, so they have been able to sell them.
All right. What else you got going on?
On the other end of the spectrum, on the forged side of STG, they have announced a value price cigar, and it's an extension of the Chillin' Moose line. And the name of the cigar is called the Shady Moose. And what this one is it's going to introduce a Connecticut shade wrapper option into the Chillin' Moose series. This is a series. It's going to be in 3 sizes: Robusto, Toro, and 6x60. They're going to go between $4.79 and $5.49 per cigar. These Moose cigars have done well for them in the past. That Chillin' Moose has been going well, and if this is your deal, and you want a value price cigar in Connecticut, then go for it.
Listen, I'm just gonna say it out loud. I mean, this is like Joe Camel's cousin, Shady Moose.
What, like 100%?
Okay.
Joe Camel's cousin. You're the first one. You said that it made a lot of sense to me.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it's just mind-boggling from a large organization like that they just don't see the history of where that kind of stuff has gone. But hey, people buying it.
Yeah, I mean they put the character on the packaging. If they start promoting a Shady Moose character, I think that's where there'll be a lot of problems. I think too. I don't think that would be a good idea to go. But look at that. Yeah, good job. And you saw that.
I mean, come on.
Does Joe Camel still exist?
No. That's Joe Camel basically instigated a lot of that shutdown. Oh yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Joe Camel was shut down in 2009 when the Tobacco Control Act was passed.
Yep.
Okay, there you go. That's why we're glad Marvin stuck around.
I'm the former Secretary of Cigar Rights of America, so I'm well versed in that history.
Yeah.
I mean, the resemblance is uncanny.
What else you got, Coop?
Our friends over at Smoking Tobacco, they're going to be running their Cigar Family Charitable Foundation fundraiser again for 2023, and they do this every year around their anniversary. And the fundraiser supports the CFCF, the foundation owned by the Fuente and Newmans. That's going to kick off on March 17th when the fundraiser opens, and you'll have an ability to buy raffle tickets. And the raffle tickets, people will be donating prizes, and you'll be able to win some of the prizes with the raffles. Last year, they raised $51,000. So this was a very significant fundraiser that got a lot of attention. So definitely great cause to support. I've been at Matt Tobacco was there with his wife back in November. It's an amazing place to go see. And like I said, the Fuentes and Newmans, they cover all the administrative costs. So anything going into the raise for the foundation goes right into the foundation there. And it's a very heartwarming thing to see when you go there.
And that's kicking off right around the Great Smoke, right? March 17th, that fundraiser starts?
Yeah, and it's a kickoff is what it is. So there's not like an event that day. It's just the day that they're going to start selling the tickets. It's going to run for about a month. And then at the end of the month, they'll do a big, they'll do a drawing, and that will be something they do on their show. And a lot of excitement that's created with that every year because a lot of people donate some really good stuff there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We threw in Abe graciously donated a box of TGS limited edition Opus X. It's up for grabs in that raffle.
That's pretty awesome.
That's a pretty and that's pretty that's a true unicorn out there. So you definitely and they have a lot of good stuff. Like a lot of the cigar companies have gotten behind it. They donate cigars, so it's not just a Fuente Newman thing by any means. A lot of people have gotten involved with it. On other news, on less than saying some happy to do a couple of deaths in the cigar industry this week. Yeah, the first one, and these are names that were more behind the scenes, so they may not be, but they are people who are very well known in the industry. Sergio Montalvo, who is the executive vice president of Creek Tech International, which is a large distributor. They own a large distributor company, Phillips and King. and Sergio was a part of that. He died suddenly over the weekend. And I know Sergio was a very, very well-liked guy in this business. So
They didn't say how he died.
They didn't say how he died, but it was sudden.
He didn't look that old.
No, he was younger than me and you.
Wow.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, he wasn't that old.
I mean, he looked our age.
Yeah, but it was sudden from what
late 40s, early 50s.
Yeah.
It was about guys. I knew him for many years. He was accustomed. You know, we sold cigars through them, and it's very sad.
Yeah, I never met him. But everyone just told me. I heard nothing but positive things about him. Yeah,
great guy, fun-loving guy. My friend Dave Lafferty texted me and called me about this, and a few others. And you know, it's sad when someone who is such a uplifting, positive character dies so young. I believe he was 50 years old.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So very, very sad news. Another person, again, probably not a name a lot of folks know, Siegfried Marichuca. He was a tobacco broker in the Dominican Republic for a company called Jose Mendez. They are a big supplier of tobacco to a lot of folks, especially Altadis. He died at the age of 83. So he, again, very well-known person on the behind-the-scenes thing, and one of the great tobacco brokers out of the DR. So he passed away. I don't have details on how he passed away, but he was older. He was, like I said, 80. I think he was 83 when he passed.
All right.
And that's our news. That's our news for this week.
A lot of news. And for more information and always up-to-date knowledge, please visit cigar-coop.com. Always rumor and teaser free. That being said, I know we didn't put on the outline or forgot, but I want to talk about this because I really find this, and Marvin's got a lot more background with the CAA and whatnot, but there was a study posted yesterday. The Center for Disease Control is touting this new study they took of American adults, right? They surveyed American adults on the banning of the sale of tobacco products. All right. They announced the question basically was, to what extent will you support a policy that prohibited the sale of menthol cigarettes? Because menthol cigarettes are so much different than regular cigarettes. And to what extent would you support a policy that prohibits the sale of all tobacco products in general? And they strongly support, somewhat oppose, strongly oppose, and 50, where's the number here? 57.3% of adults supported a ban on all tobacco products. Now, my question is, why is the CDC running this study? What is people's opinions on whether they feel something should be banned or not? Really do anything for what they're supposed to do as an organization? Is their policy now run by popular opinion, not scientific fact?
Yes.
They're trying to justify their existence.
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Short answer is yes.
Yeah.
It's a political. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Marvin.
Go ahead, Marvin.
This is completely a political move, and if you remember, think about 20 years ago. Anytime you're at a doctor's office, they would ask, do you smoke cigarettes? What's the question now at the doctor's office? Do you smoke tobacco? Do you take tobacco? That didn't just happen overnight. That was a massive movement. And what that does is it lumps premium cigars with other tobacco products. And that's where the front line is organizations like Cigar Rights of America, who are trying to educate both lawmakers, regulators, that premium cigars are very different than other tobacco products. And the only long-term survival for the cigar industry is to continue pounding that into the minds of lawmakers that this is an artisanal product that's generally not addictive, that our nation's youth aren't partaking in, And that's the reason why the CDC and the American Cancer Society, et cetera, are what they're doing is they're trying to lump all products together because it's in their best interest.
Listen to me, I get it. I still don't see how the American population doesn't see that there is no reason why the Center for Disease Control is polling for a public opinion. Their job is not based on public opinion. Their job is to control the spread or prevention of diseases. Why the fuck are they messing with popular opinion? This is such BS and political bullshit that our tax dollars was even wasted on polling 6,400 adults. For what? To what effect? To what avail? It's just, this is the most asinine thing I've read this week.
What's even more alarming to me, as I was saying yesterday when we were talking about this, is imagine the studies that aren't getting published that probably they're conducting that they're wasting money on.
Of course.
This would have never gotten published if the numbers didn't come out the way they did.
Of course.
Yeah.
And the numbers don't mean shit.
Yep.
Numbers don't mean shit. What are you going to do? You're going to start banning McDonald's because everybody's got cholesterol, high blood pressure, and childhood obesity is rampant? You know,
if I'm not mistaken, the number one killer in the U.S. is still heart disease, right? From poor eating, or diseases related to obesity.
I can't fathom why it wouldn't be. So that's some bullshit, man. I just want to touch base on that and get it out there. When I saw that really just bothered me. It's just the most asinine, ridiculous thing I've seen all week. So that being said, we are happy.
Number one.
We are happy to announce. And Marvin, you could probably chime in on your one of your top picks here, but we're happy to announce the official start now that we're all here and Paul has graced us with his presence this week. To start, is this season 6?
Season 6.
Season 6 of Tale of the Tape. Let's run it. Now, I have to say, I didn't realize how hard this was until I started doing it. This is like literally impossible.
That's why I narrowed my field.
Yeah, I understand now. It literally is impossible because you don't know. Do you do it by genre, by era? I mean, you can go back forever. I mean, and it's just too much. It's way too much. It literally was impossible to figure out any kind of systematic way to say who my top 10 female heartthrobs are. So I just kind of copped out into who my heartthrobs were growing up. You know, and
that's
who
how I thought of it.
Yeah, and that's how I do. We lose Coop?
Yes,
we lost Coop.
I'm messaging him now.
We're on the lookout for him.
I'm taking it. Yeah, I'm taking care of it. Don't just keep going.
But Abe, why don't you go ahead and start it off?
So, you know, this one, I'm just utterly attracted to this girl. And it was really, really funny because I got on my cell phone with my wife last night and there were images of her, you know, where I'm like, oh, she's really wondering why the fuck am I Googling this chick? And, you know, I had to tell her about our new Tale of the Tape. And my wife recognized her. I fell in love with her in a couple early series, and I don't know what it is about her. You know, she's somewhat Iranian. Maybe there's some cultural DNA, but I find her utterly attractive, and her smile and her disposition. And then to boot, my wife recognizes her and tells me about this Netflix series that she's in where she's like naked everywhere. I'm like, thank you, honey. I'm going to start watching that series tonight. Let me see. But it's Sarah Shahi. Some of you may recognize this girl is stunning. Ooh. Now, of course, I picked one of her sexier pictures, but even just her normal smiling picture she's a pretty girl, and she may not be as well known as a lot of bombshells, but to me, she does the trick. So she comes into my number 10 of female bombshells.
I don't know who she is, but I like her.
Hold on, I'm gonna Google. I bet you if you see, because that's like a really sultry picture I picked. But if I Google her regular face, you'll not in this girl, you might recognize her.
Alex, do you know her?
I don't know. No, when he sent it to me, I didn't recognize.
I didn't know her either.
Yeah, she's been on Fairly. She has a series called Fairly Legal, and
She's beautiful.
her Netflix series, which I'm gonna get ready to get into, is what's it called here? Let me see here. My wife, Sex Life. Sex Life, but she's all over. But she's been in Black Adam, Persons of Interest. She was in the L World, but her series Fairly Legal played for a while. I think she played in the series where I really fell in love with her, where she played like this shrink, sports shrink. It didn't last too long. I think it was only a season or two.
She looks like a shrink.
I'm trying to see if I can find the name of it. But yeah, she's a character actress. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch this this Sex Life series. Man.
Yeah, I'm
But
gonna watch it too. I'm putting it in my favorites now.
All right, Paul, go ahead. What do you got?
Snow White.
Oh, well, there's a little bit of a similarity between our first picks, I guess. Number 10 picks. I guess it's no surprise to anyone that I went the Disney route because, again,
oh gosh,
Snow White.
So I picked the top 10 Disney heartthrobs from Disney movies, and I started with one of the ultimates, Pocahontas.
Good pick. I don't mind.
From,
That's a good pick.
From her self-titled movie, Pocahontas. I don't know, man. When that movie came out, to me, I was like, damn, all right, they're doing the right thing around here now.
Now listen, bro. I'm going to tell you something. I mean, all right, you went the cartoon way, and I could see some legitimate cartoon hotness, Jessica Rabbit and whatnot. Pocahontas, really?
You don't think Pocahontas is hot? Oh
no,
man.
No
Yeah.
way. Nothing.
No.
Does nothing for me.
No, in the world of cartoons, she's nowhere in the top 10.
Dude, look at her.
The fat witch from what's the mermaid movie? Yeah, she's hotter than Pocahontas.
I don't know. Something about her in that
Peggy Hill.
loincloth
King
or
of the Hill
whatever
is
she's
better.
wearing,
There's
it
no
does it for me.
more truer comment than this statement right here.
Allison, I'm trying to go with a theme. All right, I had limited choices.
I mean, there's your.
All right, let's move on.
All right, so for my number 10 pick, like I said earlier, I decided to narrow the field down, and I'm going to be working out of the realm of R&B and hip hop heartthrobs. And my number 10 pick is Lil' Kim.
Great
pick. Lil' Kim was dynamite when she first came out, and she's like the trailblazer of the female sex appeal rapper. She was really the first one to take on that role.
Yep.
And to be honest, she would have been much higher on my list had she not turned to Michael Jackson in her later years, because this Lil' Kim and the Lil' Kim of today is totally unrecognizable.
Early Lil' Kim.
You know, that was a little depressing about doing this, because looking at some of your older heartthrobs and you Googled them
and you see the current pictures.
Oh my gosh. I was like, oh, what happened? Oh my gosh. Some of them got real bad. They plastic surgery themselves to death.
Oh yeah, to death.
Cool.
What do you got?
All right, so I took this as heartthrobs of all time, and I went through the story of my life, and I went back a ways. I went back to about 1980, and she was a character on the TV show Dallas. She played Pam Ewing. It's Victoria Principal.
Victoria was a hottie in her day. That's a great, respectable pick, man. This is what I'm telling you. This was impossible because there's a lot of Victoria Principals and whatever. But yeah, man, she had those workout videos. That
The
came
workout.
out for a while.
Yes.
Yes.
What a leotards like her. I mean, it was incredible.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. I mean, and that was the thing. When she was doing those exercise videos and stuff, that was a big, big deal. I mean, yeah.
I think I may have had some private moments with Victoria Principal.
We all did. I know I did.
I feel like I want to make a bet that Olivia Newton-John makes Coop's list. We're gonna have all like 70s and 80s folks on there.
I have a wide. I think I have a wide range of it.
It's hard, man, because like I mean, there was a lot of people like I wanted to go way back, but you know, this was harder. This is way harder.
I wanted to reflect the story of my life, kind of. So, so that's why you're going to see a lot of these. There's some newer ones and some older ones I have on here.
That is a solid number 10, Coop. Very.
Thanks. If I'm for you, Abe, that means a lot.
No, that's a solid 10, man. Well done, Marvin.
Oh man,
give us one of your childhood bombshell heartthrobs.
Childhood?
Anyone.
All right. the first time I got a little tingling as a little boy was what's the mom's name? The Partridge Family. I don't know why.
Oh no!
Not Shirley Partridge.
Oh no!
Little kid. Well, listen, you can always.
You
go
might as
to
well say
five.
Carol Brady.
No. As a
The actress's
kid,
name is
look,
Shirley Mae Jones.
I'll tell you another. Rebecca De Mornay.
Oh yeah.
Tom Cruise movie. Sometimes
Yes.
you got to see what the fuck.
Tom Cruise in the one where she plays the nanny. Oh yeah.
No, he plays the hooker.
Yeah.
And he's going. In fact, my God, what is
No,
the
that's
name of
Risky Business.
Risky Business.
But she also did the one where she like takes the
Hand that
nanny,
rocks
I
the
forget.
cradle.
The hand that rocks the cradle.
So,
Yeah.
but if
She's
I'm
another
gonna
one
go-
that kind of went south.
But if I'm going to look at, think of, to me as a filmmaker, I look at some of the actors that are portraying, that are in films today, and again, I got to be careful because who knows, maybe I get the opportunity to work with one of these people, one of these amazing actors. But, I feel that some of the most talented, actresses right now working out there today, Rachel Weisz, she was in The Constant Gardener, and
Great actress.
Great actress. Jennifer Connelly, amazing actress. Rosario Dawson,
Let me tell
amazing.
you something. I'm going to tell you something. I'll say it. I was in love with Rosario Dawson. I mean, what was the movie with
Well, she debuted
Ed
in
Norton? The one with Ed Norton, 11 Hours or something, where he gets.
25th Hour, Spike Lee film. She was
Let
great.
me tell you something. That's when I fell in love with Rosario Dawson, man.
Great.
And she didn't make my top 10, but God, she was
Listen.
on my list.
One of my favorite movies, obviously, Alexander with Colin Farrell. You can catch a full-on Rosario Dawson in that movie.
She's
great.
fine.
He Got Game, and that was her first Spike Lee movie.
Yeah, she's
Lala, Jesus Shuttleworth's girlfriend.
Yep.
She's an amazing actor. She just a few years ago she did a film with Chris Rock called Top 5. Check it out. It's I believe Chris Rock wrote it as well, and it's kind of like based on what he was going through at the time. He was getting a divorce, etc. It didn't get much play, but check it out. It's one of Chris Rock's best films he's ever made.
Well, there you have it.
She was in Kids too, wasn't she?
That's her debut. She was in Kids.
Kids.
There you have it. Week 1 of Taylor Tape Season 6. Keep following us every week to see who's going to end up in our top 10. Another great episode this Saturday. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We hope best way to start your Saturdays. We hope you laughed. We entertained you. Had a little fun today. Marvin, thank you for coming on. Deep appreciation. Everybody's wishing you all the success in this movie. This is a great movie. I think it's going to be highly talked about as soon as it gets out there and people start seeing it. Kudos to you, my friend. It's one thing to dream, and it's another thing to make it a reality. So that's a big feat. If you're following us on Facebook, check us out. Follow us on Smoking Social. If you're on Facebook, it's probably one of the best groups out there on Facebook. Just answer 3 questions. We'll let you in, and keep following us with more great smoke news. Southern Draw Evening Stock. If you got a great smoke ticket, on sale now. Enjoying the crap out of this cigar. Until next week, everybody, keep it lit.
Peace out.